assigned that last night was a good night. I think we'll take that up. Everybody enjoyed the epic welcome reception. I want to introduce our hosts for this morning's session. And one of the duties that we all have as members of the game development community is to help change the broader public's perception of video games, to help them recognise that video games make an important contribution to the leisure habits, the leisure and entertainment choices and the lifestyles of all Australians. And I think one thing that's done that, perhaps more than any other in this country over the last couple of years, is the television show Good Game on ABC. I'm sure it's a show that many of you enjoyed. And we're delighted that Good Game have been able to be a part of GCAP this year. And it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you the hosts of Good Game, X and Barjo, to chair this discussion with David Jaffe.
Thanks very much. Please. Good morning all. Well, I'm Barjo and this is Hex, and my name is also Stephen Donovan. Hex. Good morning.
Stephanie Bendixson is also
Thanks very much for having us. We feel quite privileged. We're Discovery Genos amongst all of you creatives out there, and it's a real honour to be here. And yeah, and we also, this is all for you, these questions. So if you've got, we're going to have people running around with microphones, and we're going to be just asking as many questions as we can. So this is your chance. If you have a question, just pop your hand up, and someone will come over to you with a microphone, and then we can talk to David Jaffe. But he can't hear you without a microphone. So don't shout out. And yes, I think that's him there now. Good morning.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Good morning.
Okay. Great. How's it? It's actually afternoon here. What time is it there?
It's very early, and we've all had a very big night.
Oh, good for you. That's great.
Well,
awesome.
I guess I should kick things off with some questions, or would you like to have a talk about what you're doing now? This is weird. This whole video cam is very futuristic, I must say.
Are you getting a good image? Because I can't see you guys at all. I'm actually looking at my desktop right now, and a little postage-size picture of me. Is it a decent bandwidth?
You look fabulous.
beautiful.
Wow, well, thank you very much. We're just working away. We're working on a new game that's unannounced right now, which I believe I believe February or March. I'm not entirely sure, but that's really what's been occupying all of our time with me here in San Diego and the development team in Utah. And then we're starting to bring in some contractors now, and as we sort of get to the last year of production. So just working.
Is it a big management job to bring in like that whole new wave of people towards the end of a cycle? Tell us about how it is managing, because you've kind of gone out on your own with a team now, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest about it, though, that's one of the reasons that I'm here in San Diego and that I can work the way I do is that I have a great manager that I work with who's my business partner in Utah, and so I don't really deal with the management. That's not my cup of tea. I kind of crashed and burned when I got a management assignment at Sony it's going on 10 years now. And it was it was prolonged, unfortunately, but it didn't take me long to realize that management was not my forte. And so, no. So, I mean, it is for them. I mean, obviously, as we bring in, we're working with some outside contractors. We're staffing up in certain, aspects in terms of, I think we're just looking at hiring a new animator and things like that. But in terms of the management, I really deal with about 3 or 4 key people on a day-to-day basis. And, I don't deal with any of the management besides that.
We're all desperate to know information about this game you're working on. Surely, can you give us something today?
I can't. A lot of people have speculated. I mean, I'd love to share secrets and stuff like that. And I've never quite understood why we have to keep things so close to the best in our industry. Within 2-3 years, what a movie maker is doing, and we have to keep our cards to the best within 6 months before a release. And I think that's kind of an old-fashioned mentality. But unfortunately, I signed a contract that pretty much says if I spill the beans without somebody saying I can, then it kind of hurts my company. So I'd love to tell you about it. but I'm not really able to speak in specifics. So we can dance around some things, but they'll have to be questions that you give to me if that has any interest to you guys at all.
All right. Well, let's throw open to questions from the people here in the audience, and we can come back. Hands up, guys, if you've got something you'd like to ask. Everyone's been quite shy. Steph, would you like to? Oh, look, there's one in the back. Yes.
What do you look for in a demo reel?
Are you in terms of design or animation, or what kind of demo reel?
Just like modeling and concept and things like that.
Well, I mean, I'm not an animator, I'm not a modeler, I'm not an artist, I wasn't trained as the guys on the God of War team made me a t-shirt that says God of War with a nice dramatic logo, and then it has my stick figures of the Minotaur boss battle that I designed, and they're literally stick figures, so I'm in no position to judge anyone's art skills from a real standpoint, of just a layperson standpoint. But I mean, the other day, for example, we're looking for a new animator who also is able to model, and I got the link to his blog site, and for me, what I look for is how competitive they are. Unless we're hiring someone that we know is a junior that we're going to grow with our company, if we're looking for someone who's kind of senior that we need to help us, execute the vision, then, I play all the games that you guys probably play, and I say, in this case, this guy did some really cool close combat, sort of modern warfare style animations, and I was really impressed, and the team was impressed, and so we kind of gave him a call. But in terms of, I'm not really the guy to speak to. I mean, I can tell you this. I can tell you that since I worked at the God of War team, my expectations and demands for really quality artists have shot up because, these guys were trained at really great schools, and their anatomy is fantastic. As a layperson, I can tell, but the other artists also, acknowledges the level of anatomy and detail and color mastery. I mean, it's amazing. And so all I know is I know greatness when I see it, but I'm not an artist, so I can't judge that on a technical level, if that makes any sense.
The God of War team, we've heard from, when we've spoken to people who worked on that, we met the art designer behind Kratos actually recently, and he said that just everyone on that team was a massive veteran and was of game design, and it all just worked. How often does that happen? And when you were building these games, did you realize they would be so successful?
Well, who are you meeting with?
What was his name, Jenna? Canadian gentleman. I'm sorry, I've forgotten his name. Oh, hold on, we're just getting a bit of internet distortion here.
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay. So, I don't know in terms of veterans. We were definitely we had been in the business, a lot of us. We had never made a game like God of War before. There were very few people. Our animation team and our combat team were comprised of some guys who did these awful games, the Backyard Wrestling series for Keynote. And, but in that, they knew that they wanted to be, they knew they were better, and they were just in circumstances where, because of whatever the reasons, they couldn't really shine. And so I think one of the neat things about God of War is it allowed a lot of people, myself included, who had visions for something bigger for their careers and bigger for their craft and their art to actually be able to execute on those. But none of us. The game that studio made, I wasn't really that involved with. It was it wasn't a failure, but it wasn't a big hit. They made a game called Kinetico, which did okay. I had done the Twisted Metal series, which in America was a really big hit, but it didn't really travel that well outside of America. No, none of us. I had moments towards the end where I thought, this is, people always call me arrogant. It's not arrogant, I'm just sharing what I thought. I was sitting there one night late, and we had a big picture of Kratos, who's the star of God of War, up on the wall, and I was just like, man,